And we are live. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Mufasa's Daily Book Reading at Noon. My name is Mpomogwena, and I am your reader today. We are reading Stephen Covey's The Eight Habits. This is what the book looks like. This side, get the good side of the book, both sides. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day and that you have definitely subscribed to our YouTube channel because it's powerful and it's filled with some really amazing content and also previous readings from the book that we've read already. So you can access those readings by following the link that is in the description of today's live. I'm going to be reading 10 minutes of chapter 5, and it's going to be wonderful reading, really clear, and exciting, and you're going to find some wonderful gems that you can use within your business as well as your home, and different organizations that you're a part of. So chapter 5's title is Express Your Voice, Vision, Discipline, Passion, and Conscience. That's what it's about. Let me set my 10 minutes and read to you. Awesome. So chapter 5, express your voice, vision, discipline, passion, and conscience. Most powerful is he who has himself in his power. When you study the lives of all great achievers, those who had the greatest influence on others, those who have made most significant contributions, those who have simply made things happen, you will find a pattern. That rhymes. That's nice. Through their persistent efforts and inner struggle, they have greatly expanded their four native human intelligence or capacities. The highest manifestations of these four intelligences are for the mental, vision, for the physical, discipline, for the emotional, passion, for the spiritual, conscience. These manifestations also represent our highest means of expressing our voice. Vision is seeing with the mind's eye what is possible in people, in projects, in causes, and in enterprises. Vision results when our mind joins need and possibility. As William Blake once said, what is now proved was only once imagined. When people have no vision, when they neglect the development of the mind's capacity to create, they fall prey to the human tendency towards victimism. Discipline is paying the price to bring that vision into reality. It's dealing with the hard, pragmatic, brutal facts of reality and doing what it takes to make things happen. Discipline arises when vision joins with commitment. The opposite of discipline and the commitment that inspires sacrifice is indulgence. Sacrificing what matters most in life for the pleasure or thrill of the moment. Passion is the fire, the desire, the strength of conviction, and the drive that sustains the discipline to achieve the vision. Passion arises when human need overlaps unique human talent. When one does not have the passion that flows from finding and using one's voice to serve greater purposes, the void is filled with insecurity and the empty chatter of thousand voices that drive the social mirror. In relationship and organizational settings, passion includes compassion. Conscious is the inward moral sense of what is right and what is wrong, the drive toward meaning and contribution. It is the guiding force to vision, discipline, and passion. It stands in stark contrast to the life dominated by ego. Whatever weakens your reason, impairs the tenderness of your conscience, obscures your sense of God, takes off your relish from spiritual things, whatever increases the authority of the body over the mind, that things is sin to you, however innocent it may seem itself. And that is a quote by Susan Wesley, John Wesley's mother. Whatever weakens your reason, impairs the tenderness of your conscience, obscures your sense of God, takes off your relish from spiritual things. Whatever increases the authority of the body over the mind, that thing is sin to you, however innocent it may seem in itself. These four words, vision, discipline, passion, and conscious, essentially embody many, many other characteristics used to describe those traits we associate with people whose influence is great, whether known to many or few. Most differences in the words we use to describe people we admire, whether in the home, in the community, in a business, or in government, are simply a matter of semantics. Then we have another quote. The best leaders operate in four dimensions: vision, reality, ethics, and courage. These are the four intelligences, the four forms of perceiving the languages for communicating that are for communicating the languages for communicating that are required to achieve meaningful, sustained results. The visionary leader thinks big, thinks new, thinks ahead, and most important, is in touch with the deep structure of human consciousness and creative potential. You must gain control over the patterns that govern your mind, your worldview, your beliefs, and what you deserve and what's possible. That's the zone of fundamental change, strength, and energy, and the true meaning of courage. And that is from a management philosopher, Peter Kostenbaum. Kostenbaum. Vision, discipline, and passion rule the world. Any individual who has had profound influence on others, on institutions, or on society, any parent whose influence has been inter- intergenerational, anyone who has really made a difference for good or ill, possessed three common attributes: vision, discipline, and passion. I suggest that these three attributes have ruled the world from its beginning. They represent leadership that works. Consider just a few notable leaders from modern history. George Washington had the vision of building a new nation, united and free from foreign interference. He disciplined himself to learn how to recruit, supply, and keep people from deserting the Revolutionary Army. Angered by discrimination against colonial military officers, British land policies, and restrictions on US expansion, Washington was passionate about the cause of liberty. Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing, worked her entire adult life to improve the quality of nursing in military hospitals. Her vision and passion overcame her personal reticence. Mohandas K. Gandhi, I didn't even know his name was Mohandas, was instrumental in establishing India as an independent state, though he never held an elected or appointed office. He had no formal position from which to lead. Gandhi's moral authority created such strong social and cultural norms that it ultimately shaped political will. He governed his life by an awareness of the universal consciousness that resided within the people, the international community, and the British themselves. Margaret Thatcher was the first female leader of a major industrial nation. She served 3 terms as Prime Minister of Great Britain, the longest continuous premiership in the 20th century. Her critics are not few, but she was passionate about urging people to assume the discipline of human responsibility and to build self reliance. And she was passionate about bolstering free enterprise in her country. During her tenure in British politics, she helped lift Britain out of economic recession. Being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people, if you have to tell people you are, you aren't. Margaret Thatcher. It makes so much sense for her that this quote is coming from her. This is the quote because I was enjoying that a lot. Being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't. Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa, spent almost 27 years in prison for fighting against the apartheid regime. Mandela was Mandela was impelled by his imagination rather than his memory. He could envision a world far beyond the confines of his experience and memory, which included imprisonment, injustice, tribal warfare, and disunity. Deep within his soul resonated a belief in the worth of every South African citizen. Mother Teresa dedicated herself wholeheartedly, freely, and unconditionally to the service of the poor. She bequeathed her highly disciplined upholding of the vows of poverty, purity, and obedience upon her organization, which has both grown and strengthened even since her passing. The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. And that is a quote by Mother Teresa. The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. And that is where we end our reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. There's some wonderful quotes that were in here. We learned a little bit more about vision, discipline, and passion in people who have achieved the greatest things, whether we know of them or not. But we know that these are qualities that are found in them and that are definitely in us as well. And so that we will use our these characteristics to express our voice, and yeah, we can do it. So I hope you enjoyed this wonderful reading. Remember that you can find the previous readings in a playlist on our YouTube channel, so definitely click on the link that is in the description of today's live to access those wonderful readings. This one will be there as well. We've already started a new playlist with all of the readings of this book, so if you've missed any of the readings, make sure that you will find them on our YouTube channel. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you and goodbye.